New at 10, finding purpose in their pain. More than a month after losing their husband and father, the family of a fallen police officer finding strength in their faith to keep his legacy alive.
I am a faithful person. Chris was a very faithful person. Our children are that way as well. But I've never felt quite as connected to God as I do now. To feel that connected to your Creator is pretty powerful.
The family of Officer Chris Oberheim has created a nonprofit to honor his life and help law enforcement nationwide. We told you last night in part one of our special report how that idea came about. Tonight, WAD's Chris Carter back with more on the foundation and its purpose. Chris.
Well, Sean, this project has really taken off and it is full steam ahead. Amber Oberheim told me and photojournalist Erica Hola it started just days after Officer Chris Oberheim died. His wife realized it was time for change. So she put her faith in God and she set out on a mission.
I miss his presence.
Grief.
But I still feel it, and I can still gain strength from that. Undoubtedly, hands down, the worst day of my life.
It comes in many forms.
I miss knowing that I could count on him for anything.
For Amber Oberheim, grief comes with action.
I'm done being quiet. I have a voice, and I will use it.
6 weeks after living out her nightmare, this wife of a fallen police officer is taking action.
In a world that sometimes seems stacked against you, choosing to be silent has more consequences than choosing to speak up.
The death of her husband, Champaign police officer Chris Oberheim, has given the mother of four a new purpose. She's turning her grief into a plan to show law enforcement that they are supported. With her children by her side and strength from the wisdom of her fallen husband, Amber Oberheim has created Peacemaker Project 703. 703, fallen officer Chris Oberheim's badge number. The vision of the foundation to support law enforcement through a mission of outreach, reform, and education.
We are moving full steam ahead because I have a restless energy about this that I can't seem to squash.
The vision for the project started just days after Officer Oberheim was shot and killed while doing his job. You've seen people come out and support you. Mm-hmm. When you see that outpouring of support, not just from Monticello or Decatur or Champaign, from around the world, what does that say to you? What does that mean to you? The
response to our situation has been far, wide, deep. I think it has created an emotional awareness in a lot of people. It's lit a fire. People are angry. They're tired of this nonsense that seems to be happening in our world. They've decided it's time to be heard.
With a drive to change the narrative of police nationwide, Amber made it her mission to make sure the thousands of law enforcement officers who showed up to support her family knew she had their backs. She picked the words she spoke at her husband's funeral carefully.
I will create change in my husband's honor.
We wanted them to leave with a renewed sense of energy and optimism and feeling supported, because our officers don't get that enough.
The goal of Peacemakers Project 703 is to keep Chris's legacy alive through its core values of respect, integrity, family, and service. 4 things that were important to Officer Oberheim.
My ask would be that in every situation and every day, we have multiple choices to make. I would ask that people start making the right choice.
Getting the mission accomplished won't be easy. Amber knows that. It's why she wants all voices at the table as she moves through her grief. That includes those who may not see police in the best of light. There are people out there who might be hesitant about this, who might have a bad negative impression of law enforcement or had a bad experience. So how do you reach across that aisle and get those people who might be hesitant to get on board or to hear you out? How do you get them involved?
We may come from a different place, but if we can all come to the same table with open minds, open hearts, and then pray for God to work in the way that He does, I think that we can definitely learn from each other.
because as life continues for the family of a fallen hero,
I miss seeing the way that he looked at our girls. I miss the fact that he was like Mr. Mom. He cleaned my house well. I miss the good housekeeper that he was.
turning grief into action is a way to heal and keep the legacy of Officer Oberheim alive.
Thinking about what the world might feel like without police officers would be, I would think really long and hard about that.
Serving through their pain, just like their officer would have done. Now, Peacemaker Project 703 is officially a nonprofit. Moments after our interview with Amber Oberheim, she let us know the state of Illinois recognized their nonprofit status. They're still waiting on their federal nonprofit status. And Sean, Amber told me during our interview she thinks the foundation's possibilities are certainly limitless.
All right, we'll keep watching. Thank you, Chris. Officer Oberheim was killed responding to a domestic violence call. His partner, Jeffrey Creel, was also shot. He's at home recovering. The suspect was shot and killed by Officer Creel. If you'd like to watch both parts of our interview with Amber Oberheim or learn more about Peacemaker Project 703, you can go to WANDTV.com.